Good morning. It's me, Pearl from Pearl and the Prayers, and this is Tuned in Tarot. And we are here to take a look at the balance between the divine masculine and divine feminine energies inside of ourselves, understanding that whatever state we find this energy in, we can expect to see that reflected back to us in our interactions with others, in our environment, and our ability to manifest the things that we desire is directly connected to the energy inside of us. If we want to see changes occur, we have to shift the energy within. Good morning, Lena. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining me today. I don't know what to expect from the energy today because I don't think I'm even in tune to my own energy. So I'm kind of interested to see what's going to happen. We're going to start with. I felt called to start with divine feminine. There's the same amount of cards showing, but I was leaning towards this way, so we'll start with divine feminine today. Top of the deck, overall headspace, forefront of her mind is the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. So she's chafing a little bit at her destiny right now and feeling some uncertainty about it and is questioning a lot. It's like before she seemed to have sort of a clear picture in her mind um, of what she thought was her fate because she asked for it, and we know how that works in this law of attraction. So she's like, okay, I'm going to get what it is that I want. As she's progressed through this journey, is that when you ask for something, you are asking for its essence. And so she's not entirely sure she knows what to expect, like what the future will hold, what her destiny is going to bring her. And so now she's kind of feeling a little bit like this wheel needs to turn and there's a big change or a big shift that's about to happen or should happen or must happen, a change that is going to come, but she doesn't know in what direction it's going to take her or towards whom it will take her or who is going to arrive, or she's really kind of in the darkness about this. There's probably a sense, the same sense I had when I woke up this morning, of just kind of being like, I don't know what I'm doing, where I'm going, or what I'm manifesting in some ways. Like being really in tune with what it is that I want to happen, but being not at all sure that I actually have any sense of what that is really going to look like, the big picture of it. And the other thing is, she really wants her luck to change. She's like, with all due respect, universe, I've kind of been dealing with this sort of rotten energy for a minute. And like this, I've been stuck, right? The wheel hasn't, it felt like it's not been moving at all. And I just want my luck to change. I want to be able to have, like, for like one whole month, like everything I say just be a pronouncement of the abundance and blessings I'm experiencing. Just give me that. Can we have that? Can we have that? So that's overall on her mind. The niggling thing her mind is this Page of Pentacles energy. Fountain Tarot that we're using today has the child with this pentacle they've ever seen. This is a card that is about assessing an offer or having an offer, making a gesture. It can be about small gestures, foundation, beginning something, starting out. And if we're seeing, I just realized I didn't turn over the rest of the cards. Let me turn over the. Yeah. So if we're seeing her feeling like she wants her luck to change, she doesn't really know what to expect, and she's tired of these small movements towards her destiny. She's tired of these small steps, small gestures. She wants to see a big change, a massive change. She she feels small time, and she knows she can be big time. She knows that this thing can be big, can be so fulfilling. And she's really thinking a lot about that and really wanting that to be the case. She's like, listen, I know that I can literally take any of the ingredients you give me and make this stunning thing, right? So it's like she's trying so hard to do this. She's trying so hard to take these, whatever it is that she has, any of this, the smallest gestures that she gets, or the tiniest amount of money that she has to invest in herself, so that she can just see this change in her luck. The good news is, I see that you say that it's a buffering, so I'm sorry about that. I don't know exactly. I'm kind of at the mercy of my Wi-Fi. The first thing on her mind is the Chariot. So she has definitely got a feeling of moving forward, and there's fast motion here, and there's balance. She has a sense of that she surrendered the outcome, which is good, because this can be about resisting your fate or destiny. So if I didn't see this Chariot card also, I wouldn't really have a sense that, I would think that this was more about her resisting what is going to happen to her. It's more that she feels this turning of the wheel or the shifting of the wheel, and she doesn't know where it's headed, but she really wants her luck to change. So she surrendered her control of the Chariot to the divine, because the divine's better at driving the wheel, and balanced those two aspects of self, the action and the inaction. So we're seeing her feeling this. And let me tell you, there is a lot of momentum here, and there is a lot of motion here, because there is even more cards. And the clarifier for this is not only is this moving, but this is moving fast. This is a fast moving feminine. What's interesting is the next card. The 10 of Pentacles in reverse. And this keeps coming up. We saw this on Sunday with Grace Strega for Divine Feminine, or in the reading. And I actually do think it was for Divine Feminine. And we're seeing it here again. So the 10 of Pentacles is the material, material fulfillment of all of your desires. The 10 of Cups would be like the spiritual version, and the 10 of Pentacles is the material one. So it's what we want here in the real world. The career we want, the house, the car, 2.5 kids, the dog, the whole thing, right? So Divine Feminine is feeling this, that she's hurtling towards her material fulfillment, but it's in reverse. And so we're going to have to go a bit deeper once we get to this clarifying card that's appearing underneath it. But for now, when we see the 10 of Pentacles in reverse, the positive message is that we are not attached to the outcome. And that is really what's making me feel that Wheel of Fortune and Page of Pentacles in reverse, where she's feeling like she's small time, she wants to be big time. She feels this wheel shifting. She feels this fast moving motion. She's heading towards her material fulfillment. She's going to see this manifestation in this real world manifestation. But she doesn't know what it's going to look like. And she's not attached to it. She's like, I know it's coming. Don't know what it looks like anymore. Because I am realizing that I was very childish when I first started building this thing. I was young. I was little. I had an idea about what this thing looked like. And that was very childish. And it was based on models that were either fantastic, unattainable, unrealistic, toxic, because they were people that didn't know how to do that, or toxic messages that came from those fantasies and stuff that I was absorbing. But there is some aspect that when I started building this thing, I was a child. And I built it the way that a child does, with delight and excitement and anticipation of how good it's going to feel to get it. Except I didn't realize that I was building it upon this very immature foundation. And so, because she's got this realization that she was limiting herself, the small time, big time thing with the Wheel of Fortune and the Page of Pentacles, it's like she wasn't even really kind of imagining how far she could actually go, how big this could be, how beautiful this dream could be, because it was limited. Even if those limitations were big dreams, like my dream to be a rock star, let's say, that's even just that dream is limiting for me, because I decided upon that when I was, a kid, like 6 or 7, right? And I'm many things, not just that. I am that. I have those skills. I could do that. But I do this and I do other things. And if I only limited myself to that one vision of what my destiny or what my fate was, I would maybe never arrive at the true abundance that is built up for me in a vortex of a lifetime filled with moments where I had desires that I experienced and then didn't believe in or whatever, and they're just waiting for me there. They're just there because the universe never sees my limits, only my potential. So if one day I see somebody, sewing a costume, and I'm like, oh, I wish I could sew. That would be really cool. Then I could like do this or that. And this is something I don't really care that much about, but I put it there in my vortex. And like, what if that's something important for me and I don't know? So there's the sense that the divine feminine has, that she realizes that her own single-minded focus on any one specific outcome has been so limiting. And she's released this, or she desires to anyway, in her headspace, which is fantastic. And then we arrive at this card, which is an additional card in the Fountain Tarot. It is the Fountain card itself. It doesn't have a Roman numeral. It has a lemniscate, the symbol of eternity. And it's a card that the creators of this deck made because they felt that there wasn't a card that existed yet that could truly depict the great convergence that happens with basically digital consciousness, sort of. That there's this electrical convergence almost that's taking place now in this time. So it's representing that. So there's definitely, when I get this card, I know that this is a card about future. And its clarifier is also making me believe that as well. And for Divine Feminine, I'm excited to see this, because to start out the reading with the Wheel of Fortune in reverse and the Page of Pentacles in reverse, and to have kind of this feeling of like, I don't know what my destiny is, and I'm kind of I'm small time and I want to be big time. It could leave a bad taste in my mouth. But to see these 3 cards and then their clarifiers, I'm very confident that this Divine Feminine is right about this thing that she's thinking. Because what she's thinking is, it is all coming together. All of these things are finally converging. I actually don't know what it will look like, but I know that it's on its way. And I know that it is coming fast, because here is the 8 of Wands. And I'm going to receive communications, signs, messages, or I am doing so right now. And that's why she feels confident about this convergence. But this is the clarifier for this Chariot energy. So do you think that this Chariot is moving? This Chariot is moving. The Divine Feminine's music this morning that came on for the shuffle, and I decided that when I title these live replays, that I will try to use references to the music so that I can draw in that energy and be a little bit more reverent about those messages. Because when I do shuffle the cards to the music, those songs really give me a sense of the energy of where we're at. And if you follow me on Instagram, I post a time lapse of that with the music as long as it's available. And you can know that I'm going to go live once you see that post go up. And also go ahead and check out the messages and the songs if you want to go deeper into the lyrics, because I don't always read them. But the song for Divine Feminine today was called Good by Marian Hill. And it was really interesting because it was like, hey, you shut me out and I've been looking for someone else because you shut me out and you won't let me in. And now you're back asking me for a second chance. And you see that I'm doing good and that I don't need you and I'm feeling good. And she's like, I wish you could just walk away and let me go, because you're making these demands on me and yet not there for it. The last thing she says is, I don't need your pleas, I don't need your time, so get off your knees and get off my mind. Queen of Swords energy, and we're going to see the Queen of Swords today. So she's just like, what are you doing? What are you doing? You want a second chance from me because you are afraid that I'm going to leave your ass in the dust because you realize I don't need your ass. So now you want a second chance, but you're also not even here for it. You're like not committed for it. So there's divine feminines in this collective that are like keeping it pushing, and they're keeping it pushing fast. They are moving right on, right? There's definitely been that aspect in this collective, and because there's that divergence in the collective where there's those that are waiting and those that are pushing forward. Well, there's a lot of momentum behind this divine feminine to head towards some kind of material fulfillment, even if it's not the one that she originally planned on or thought that it was going to be. She's making room for new possibilities. The next thing in her mind is the Hierophant in reverse, and it's clarifying the Ten of Pentacles in reverse. So this is the marriage she wanted, right? This sacred union, but it's also about learning lessons, and it's about releasing limiting beliefs, because these are very rigid, traditional, authoritative beliefs that hold you fixed. This can constitute religious shadow, like what you think you have to do to be holy and be pure, those kind of ideas that can come from this card. Release, release, release. She's releasing the limiting beliefs she has about this Ten of Pentacles. She's like, I don't know what it is that I'm going to get, but I know I'm getting it, and I know it's going to be good because I know who I am. The next thing on her mind, clarifying this Fountain card, is the Ace of Swords, and you can't get more futuristic than this in this deck. This is the absolute future. The Ace of Swords is new ideas, fresh ideas, and it's cutting away anything that didn't serve us from before. And the clarifying bit of overthinking that's taking place is the Four of Pentacles upright. So there is a stable foundation here. And I am not seeing a clinging or attachment that I'm usually associating with the shadow of this card, because we're seeing the Ten of Pentacles and the Hierophant in reverse. So there is nothing limiting about this Four of Pentacles today. This is the future. The future is a strong and stable foundation. The convergence of that Ten of Pentacles, of that abundance, is never having to worry about the cold again. Never having to worry about Five of Pentacles energy, lack energy again. Having a very stable foundation. That is what she is thinking about. Her heart space, top of the deck, overall feeling, Queen of Swords, right? There's the queen that can wield this ace. She's in the light too. She's not in the shadow. So she's not being defensive, cutting. She's not overthinking. I take that back. She is overthinking. We had overthinking in her headspace, so maybe she is a little bit in the shadow. But it's not seriously problematic issue that I'm seeing today. The overthinking that I'm seeing was clarification. It wasn't anxiety or fear. So I don't think that the overthinking is really being debilitating to her at this moment. She's just being strategic. She is not being like conniving. There's not that shadow coming here. This is just in her light traits. She's discerning, which is something that divine masculine often really desires from her, that she be in her discernment and her understanding, being able to see the whole picture and make sense of it. So she really feels good in this Queen of Swords energy. She feels like she's thinking right, like she's thinking clearly. And there's that Eight of Wands again, honey. 2 times. So we've got 2 decks in union right now, head and heart. Divine masculine head energy, divine feminine heart energy. So we've got union in this feminine. That there's this motion, that there's this momentum propelling her forward at this time. The clarifier for the Chariot is the Queen of Pentacles in reverse, which is interesting. Oh my God, wait till you see the next card. Jesus. So, the Queen of Pentacles, if the Queen of Pentacles has shadow, it's being overbearing, being overprotective, being a little too concerned with the material. I would think like a Queen of Pentacles in reverse would be a high maintenance kind of gal. That might be that sort of thing, or however you want to look at that. But this Queen of Pentacles in particular that we're talking about, she is maybe feeling like she is needing the headspace to take the reins because her heart is a little wanting to spend a little bit too much. There's a warning there about that. She might have fears about her financial stability right now. Her headspace is like, don't worry about it. It's going to work out. There's this abundance coming. We don't know how. We don't know what it's going to look like or when it's going to get here. We know it's coming. We have a stable foundation. It's okay. Don't be afraid. We also see that she is needing to surrender the reins to the divine because she wants to be able to physically manifest this queenly energy, this airy energy that she's feeling right now in the physical world. So she wants to not only feel it, she wants to see it. Hi, Michelle. I see you there. And then we have more union in this divine feminine, which is a beautiful thing. Wheel of Fortune again in reverse. So this is again this feeling that she is uncertain about what her destiny holds. And like I said before, I don't see her resisting her destiny. I just see her being more curious, like having a curiousness. And then when she tries to think about it, kind of just being like, you know what? There's no way you can know right now. There's no way you can know. So just get off that topic. Know that it's coming. Know that it's going to be good. She's also really desiring a massive change in her fortune. Again, that same thing we said when we started the reading with the headspace. She is wanting a change in fortune from small time to big time. Right? Oh, and that's actually really fascinating. The Wheel of Fortune in her headspace is clarifying the Page of Pentacles. And the one in her heart clarifies the 10. So this is literally small time and this is big time. Just like I said when I first was reading the energy of those cards without seeing that heart space. So that's even more clarification for us. She feels that she is ready to shift into that energy, to fully embody this Queen of Pentacles, to drive towards that. There's ambition there. There's ambition for her to be her best. Temperance, it's in reverse. She's impatient. Again, we're seeing this impatience come up for her again with the convergence, with the fountain, with the things coming together. She might be impatient with spirit. If you're looking at fountain energy as the source, she might be impatient right now with the process. She might be like, you know what, Spirit, I'm working hard here. And I don't know what you are doing, but you're the one in charge of this wheel, and I don't know what you're doing. And I'm really impatient with you because it's like I do everything you say, like everything you say. I think I try to understand the messages. There's definitely like a feeling of pleading or just like being like, what do I need to do now? You know, like come on. Impatience. But temperance is about balancing the energy. And so to see the chariot, we know that she's thinking that she is balancing her energy and that she knows that she must do that. And her heart space is feeling that there must be this balancing energy. Maybe she's not letting the divine do this. She's not letting the divine do the work and maybe trying to control it still with that Queen of Pentacles in reverse. It could just be she's trying to control the material because she doesn't trust her destiny yet. She's not quite trusting in her fate. She's trying not to get excited because this Page of Wands energy is in reverse. So she's trying to suppress this excitement about Eight of Wands. There's also a call here for this. There's a feeling of a lack of creativity. Something like the messages she's getting lack creativity. There's nothing new about them. And she wants to see something new. She wants to experience new revelations. But there's definitely, she's trying to suppress excitement in regards to receiving messages or receiving communication. And we got to give her credit because we saw that she's impatient. But she is trying to be patient. She's trying. Here's the Three of Wands. So this temperance, which is impatience, her heart space is trying to learn this lesson of patience, that Hierophant in reverse. She's like, this is the lesson. This is what it is that I have to learn. This is what I have to learn. Impatience is about urgency, is about fear that you will not get the thing that you want or that you will lose it before you can get it. And this is the lesson Divine Feminine learns. The final card in the heart space, clarifying the Ace of Swords and the Four of Pentacles, is the pesky Ace of Pentacles in reverse. This is the offer that is being withheld, but it is also the promise and the potential of the abundance. It is the pentacle that she's delighted about. It is what she's trying not to get too excited about, what she is trying to be patient about and learn her lessons in regards to, because she would really like to accept this offer. She would also like to make this offer of her creation, of this new thing that will help her to establish this foundation. Okay, let's look at Divine Masculine. Oh my God. Also, there's so many oracles today for Divine Masculine, so I'm not sure what to expect for him. That's right. And he has two cards in a weird spot. And they're both major arcana, so this should be interesting. All right, let's see. Top of the deck. Overall feeling for Divine Masculine is, or the thing he's thinking about, this is consuming his mind, forefront of his mind, is the Five of Swords. And this is from our favorite Housewives Tarot, and we love it so much because it gives us these really great ways to talk about this energy. In the original Smith Waite deck, we're seeing 3 swords being laid down and 2 swords on the shoulder of someone who's turned away from a battle. And there's a sense there that somebody is walking away or defeated after some kind of a battle. If you're looking at the progression of the suit, you've got the 3 of Swords, which is like that heartache and pain or whatever, and the 2 of Swords, which is the standstill. And the decision that somebody had to make that hurt the other person, and then we're seeing the defeat of that person, so to speak. The Housewives Tarot has decided to show us the Five of Swords in this cut me down to size kind of a message. It's also, too, I don't know if you've ever tried to sew anything, but it's pretty difficult. And if you get it wrong, you have to start all over again, and there might not be enough material left too. So you have to be really careful when you're cutting a pattern, and you have to be very precise, and you have to have all the measurements correct. And if you don't, you're not going to get what it is that you want. You're going to get something that is not at all what you want, in fact, and you probably will not be able to wear it or use it. Those are the things that I'm thinking when I'm looking at this card. So Divine Masculine is feeling, especially when I see his niggling feeling, he's feeling defeated by the Divine Feminine. He feels like she has cut him down to size. And the niggling feeling in the headspace is the Queen of Swords. Here she is. So we know that this is Divine Feminine and most likely not a karmic partner. Although there could have been a karmic partner that had cut him down to size and he's released her. I guess that could be part of the storyline, but I don't think so. I think this is Divine Feminine. And our lovely Divine Feminine has somehow cut him down to size. And he feels defeated by this. It's like his coldness and his aloof, his planning, his machinations, the heartbreak that he's caused, that he's thinking about all these things, that all of his shadow from this Divine Feminine energy in reverse for him, which is being defensive himself, being cold, being icy, being strategic, being manipulative, being conniving. So his Divine Feminine has cut him down to size for these behaviors, for this, and he feels defeated by that. But he doesn't want to give up, though, because his headspace this is not about defeat. I really think the only reason I'm seeing that card is because of that phrase. And to be combined with that Queen of Swords energy, which is, again, about that precision. He's like feeling like he needs to cut so carefully along the lines of this pattern because he has a limited amount of material. And he wants this final outcome of this design to really be the essence of what he has, of how he wants it to express materially. It's the best way I can put that. The first thing on his mind is this King of Cups energy, and he's in the light. The King of Cups is silent, though. But the King of Cups in this spread, this is a fully mature king. This is one who can be in control of his emotions. And he's sensitive, and he's compassionate, and he's kind, and he's extremely loving, and he's a nostalgic king. Somebody sent me, I don't remember who now. Maybe Ash sent me yesterday. Don Draper with an iPhone. It was like different shots of him on the set of Mad Men with an iPhone to like, and it was like #disturbing. And I was looking at Don Draper, and that's who this King of Cups reminds me of. And I mean, Don Draper's, I'm going to rewatch that show and see if he's a King of Cups. I feel like he's a little too problematic for that. I feel like a King of Cups would be loyal. There wouldn't be philandering going on. That would be more like King of Wands energy, I think. But yeah, no, King of Cups is going to be pretty stable, pretty loyal. So there's not going to be a ton of issues with third-party loyalty energy. If anything, King of Cups is going to be jealous, a jealous king, and worried about third-party energy on part of the divine feminine, but not him. So he's in the light of this, but he's still quiet, right? Because we're not seeing that full expression quite yet of that love that the King of Cups feels. I also, when I look at the image again of the Five of Swords, of that pattern, and the Queen of Swords, I'm seeing too, it's like he feels like the cutting him down to size thing like made him a man. Like, this is what's made him this king, is divine feminine. And he's fine. He's like defeated by her influence on him. It's like, she makes me the best version of myself. Like, my focus on her, or my love for her, my wanting to become this king for her, that's why I'm like this. I'm only like this because of her, is how he's looking at it right now. And then we're seeing the Nine of Cups. And this motherfucker is upright. So he's not even doubting his wish fulfillment. But the shadow of the Nine of Cups, though, is that there could be greediness and selfishness here, hoarding. But I don't see that. Not necessarily. I see him aware of his greediness, aware of the hoarding of his emotions, and I do sense like the pent upness, because to see the King of Cups and the Nine of Cups together is about pent up emotions for me. But this is really in the light. He's going to be able, and look at what his wish is to do in this picture. This is to give the divine feminine a gift, right? Give her all the gifts, give her everything. Christmas in July, like, let's go. The next thing on his mind is that thing I said where there were two cards in the place where there's normally only one. So divine masculine has his own overthinking going on. It's two major arcana cards. It's the Hierophant in reverse and the Magician in reverse. And that is very interesting. We already saw the Hierophant in reverse in union in divine feminine's headspace. So both divine masculine and divine feminine are releasing those limiting beliefs. And in divine masculine's case, we could see him having been powerless, feeling powerless to those limiting beliefs that he had. This could also be powerless to a past legal contract or something like that. He could be feeling a little bit, even though this is the Magician card, and Magician is a positive energy, in this deck, I get like the salesman who could sell you anything kind of a magician energy. There's a little bit of not so good energy coming from that card, especially when we're seeing a reversal on it. So we're seeing that divine masculine is trying to learn his lessons in regards to the puppeteering aspects of the magician and the ego, how the ego plays this role. There's also maybe an entity, like either a third-party energy that's a set of limiting beliefs. There could be an actual, like a rigid belief system, or something that has made him somewhat powerless. But he's just reflecting upon it. I don't see this as something that's really a problem. What I see him is just how he's thinking about it. He's thinking that the reason that he kept these feelings and emotions pent up with that King of Cups energy is because he felt that he was limited in his expression of it, that he was powerless over this belief system that he had learned that kept him from being able to experience spiritual fulfillment. Because the next card that comes up is the Ten of Cups, and it's in reverse, clarifying this King of Cups. This is what this King of Cups desires. And we're seeing it all being poured out because of some kind of experience that blocked them from having it. And when we look at his headspace, he's thinking about how he couldn't talk about it. It's something that maybe he wasn't even in touch with it to a certain extent. Like maybe he didn't know that some belief system he had was blocking his spiritual fulfillment. But I actually think that there was some, because of this card being something about manifesting in reality, I think that there was some kind of a manifestation of the blockage that really was keeping him from being able to have his spiritual fulfillment. And the beliefs might have also taught him that there was no such thing. It could be a system, it could be atheism that was a problem. It could have been a belief system that taught that there was no God or spirit or something, or was very detached from it and didn't really connect him to it. And so he's the psychic, sensitive, intuitive king without a way to express this 10 of Cups energy, this spiritual fulfillment. And the next thing that he's thinking with this 10 of Cups in reverse is he's thinking about a Queen of Wands. This Queen of Wands is in reverse. So this is a feminine energy that is not happy right now. She's pretty angry with him. And I don't think that this is our divine feminine. I think that there is an outside feminine energy. It could be mother, sister, daughter, karmic partner, but somebody in the mix that is not at all thrilled about this divine masculine getting his wish fulfillment. This energy is like, no. And she's maybe actively tried to block his spiritual fulfillment. And there might be something he's thinking about, that this party had something to do with, it could be past marriage, because if there is this Hierophant in reverse and this Queen of Wands, this third party energy he may have been powerless to her anger, or to, this is a volatile feminine as well. So he might be just really afraid of what she's going to do when he expresses to her that he has finally achieved his wish. Because eventually if this is a past partner and there's a shared children, or if this is a child from another marriage, or if this is a parent, like, this person has to know about this wish fulfillment, and he's keeping quiet and silent about it because he knows it's going to make this person angry as soon as he expresses in the Knight of Cups energy. We're seeing the Knight of Cups in reverse, clarifying this, because what he's thinking is this past energy has made it very difficult for him to actually speak, to actually express what is in his cup. But he's, and if we go back to the Five of Swords and the Queen of Swords in reverse, and we look at this with a karmic partner reading, there could very well be that he is feeling defeated by the machinations of this past energy. But I really think that it is the other layer that first came to me, which is that divine masculine has a feeling that the divine feminine on our side, the one that we just read, that divine feminine energy in her Queen of Swords has had to cut him down to size. And that is what has made him a man. And I do feel that is still true. And that he desperately wants to be able to express this Knight of Cups energy, but with the maturity and the stability and the control of the King of Cups. And this is what he's trying to accomplish. This is what he's thinking about. He wants to be able to accomplish. And I just saw 44. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Overthinking, overfeeling a lot for this divine masculine. And then I can't believe the next card. Well, almost the next card. We'll get there. Top of the deck for divine masculine is this Two of Swords, and it is in reverse. And I am so happy to see it in reverse because it means that his heart space is no longer willing to be in this standstill. His heart space is like, all right, we're making the choice. We're making the choice. We're not gonna let fate make the choice for us. We're not gonna let destiny make this choice for us. Or we're going to choose to allow destiny to make the choice, however you want to look at it. But we're not going to be standing here anymore being like, what should we do? No, we're not doing that anymore. The niggling feeling, though, can't fucking make it up, is that Wheel of Fortune. And all three of these beauties came out in reverse today. When we look at the Wheel of Fortune in reverse for Divine Masculine, and we're seeing this as the niggling feeling of the heart space, remember, it was the overall feeling or the overall thought for Divine Feminine. So for Divine Masculine to have the underlying feeling of his heart space be that Wheel of Fortune in reverse suggests that union between those two individuals is very imminent because he is feeling what she is thinking, and she is thinking what he is feeling because it appeared in both aspects of her. So we know that this union is here. It's present. The Hierophant was also in reverse for both of them, but not because they're not in sacred union. They are. The niggling feeling for Divine Masculine is similar. He's not sure what fate will bring him, but he is choosing not to fight it. That's true. That's clear because this Five of Swords, right? Which is not fighting. So he's choosing not to fight his destiny with the Queen of Swords, which I believe represents this Divine Feminine here on this side. We already saw this. He also is deeply desiring this massive shift or change. He is ready for the wheel to turn. He's afraid about what it will bring because look at it. That shit's intense, right? If this person showed up in my living room right now, I would run out the door. Not cool, right? This is a fearsome destiny. Like this is a future that's like big, scary, like Scrooge, ghost of future type of frightening feeling. And so he's just like, shit, like here we go. The first card, oh my god. Oh my god. This King of Cups, it's clarified by the King of Cups. It's in the same position. Because this beautiful Divine Masculine energy is in union with self. His headspace and his heart space, his feminine and masculine energy, masculine and feminine energy, however you want to look at it, in union. He is the King of Cups. He is kind. He is compassionate. He is just. He is honorable. He's quiet. He's quiet. But he's sensitive and he's psychic and he's telepathic. And what is he thinking? What's his wish? To work together, to collaborate, to be on a team, to be driving the chariot together, to be working on something really profound with one another, to create from that Three of Pentacles to that Four of Pentacles, to create that foundation. He wants to be able to be in the 3D. He wants to be able to have this be 3D material, manifested. And we're getting this beautiful Sun card. It is in reverse, and the Sun in reverse doesn't mean you're not happy. It can mean that you are blocking your own happiness, or that your happiness is here and you're not letting yourself taste it. But it's an auspicious card. And to get the Sun and the Nine of Cups in your spread, I mean, you're whatever it is you want, my love. It's here. But he's just showing Divine Feminine what has blocked his happiness. Past legal contracts, past limiting beliefs, higher authority figures. This could be, and this is all kinds of legal contracts too. Don't just think it's marriage. It can be But it can be a contract that you have with a job, a contract that you have, um, to appear or be a certain way, a contract that you've made, that you've signed in regards to what's going to happen to your estate, things like that. There's all kinds of legal contracts. It's not just marriage. There is a high chance that we are looking at a divine masculine with a past legal contract, but keep in mind it's not limited to that. This here, though, is about how divine masculine has a full awareness that his powerlessness to these limiting beliefs has been this thing that has blocked his happiness. This 10 of Cups in reverse, this is clarified by the Hanged Man. So he has gone into that Hanged Man energy. This is a general reading. If you have a question, feel free to send it to tunedintarot@gmail.com. Thank you. But you might have your questions answered while you're watching, so stay tuned. This Hanged Man energy that was upright is now in reverse because he has gained perspective, and the perspective that he has gained has been in regards to this 10 of Cups. So he is aware that there is some aspect of the limiting beliefs he had in the past that made him feel that there really wasn't this profound connection to this spiritual fulfillment, that he didn't need it. And he's learned that that's not at all true. He does need spiritual fulfillment, and he does want to have a relationship with a higher power. And what's really fascinating about that is the next card is the Hierophant. So that's right. The Hierophant came out 3 times in this reading. Head and heart. So this divine masculine and divine feminine are completely in sacred union right now. They are definitely in union with each other. And this physical manifestation is imminent. We are seeing divine masculine's heart space feeling feeling like he has learned his lessons in regard to this Queen of Wands in reverse energy. So if there was a karmic partner here, those lessons were learned, and he's released that partner. This could also be, if this were to represent divine feminine energy, he wants to make this offer of marriage to her, and he is afraid of rejection. He's afraid she won't accept it. Maybe there could be that fear there. But I just feel that this is really about having learned his lessons in regards to this other feminine energy. What this could also represent is if there was a feminine energy in his past, one that caused deep inner child wounds, so most likely a maternal figure of some kind, that he has been able to go in and uncover those things, those traditions, those belief systems that were ingrained into him by this former energy, and learn his lessons in regard to them so that they no longer can affect his ability to manifest as they have been in the past. And I definitely see that Hanged Man energy and that 10 of Cups, and then moving into the Hierophant, is that he really does feel like he wants to have a more traditional connection with a higher power, to have maybe even have even a conversion experience. There could be even that there, but just something that he wants to maybe have a more formal relationship with the divine than he ever had. And it comes from having gained this perspective in that Hangman energy. And then here's the overfeeling. Wow. This Knight of Cups really wants to express, and this is what he wants to express. This is also why he wants to do this in a mature way and not an immature way, because we're dealing with a very powerful energy here. But we're seeing the Queen of Swords in reverse, which we already saw here and here. Can you believe the union today? Because this is a lot. There's a lot of union in this reading. So we're seeing the Queen of Swords in reverse, the Seven of Swords in reverse, and the Moon. So divine masculine is feeling that his inability to express is what has caused divine feminine to go into this Queen of Swords energy, right? That nip him in the bud, cut him down to size energy. That these secrets, the strategy, the things that he has kept hidden, these things he has had to keep hidden from the divine feminine, because if he reveals this information, he is afraid that their happiness will be blocked by this limiting belief or this past partner or something to do with this past legal contract. So there has had to remain this hidden aspect where he's not fully been able to express himself. And he's understanding that it's from his own fears and anxieties about the Queen of Swords. And that at this point, he's just got to be, he either has to embrace that he can't tell divine feminine what he wants to tell her and let her go, or he has to do what his song was, which was Make It Right. His song was by BTS. I don't even know how that got into my library. I have no idea. And it was called Make It Right. And that is the position that divine masculine is in right now. He knows this divine feminine will not tolerate any childishness. She will not tolerate secrets and things that are hidden. She will not tolerate being kept in the darkness and not revealed and being a secret. She won't. So that's where divine masculine is at. All right. That must be why he has a lot of oracles, because that's kind of a like, there's no answer there. Divine feminine's like, I'm being patient. I've got this offer. I'm preparing it. I've got new ideas about how I'm going to present it to the world, but it's here and I'm going to do it. And divine masculine is like, I know what I want. All right, divine feminine, let's look at your oracles. You got pretty reasonable amount, little couple extras. For you today, you are in the light attributes of the martyr, which is learning the transcendent nature of service to oneself or a cause, and you have released any addiction to self-pity. So there's no pitying the self going on right now. And you are learning that you are here for a mission, and you are learning how transcendent embracing that mission is, that nature of that service to being the best version of yourself, and then allowing yourself to communicate that to others so that they can become themselves, the best versions of themselves. You are learning the transcendent nature of that. You're also in the light attributes of the magical child, which is seeing the potential for sacred beauty in all things and the belief that everything is possible. So you're really magical right now. I'm in Harry Potter year 3 and fully excited whenever I get this, because I always see this as my inner Harry Potter is really just anything is possible. I can believe that everything can change for me like that, and that I have the power to face anything that is put in front of me, and I have the tools and I can learn it and I can really manifest what I need to manifest. You've released pessimism, depression, disbelief in miracles, or believing that the energy and action aren't required for growth. That's not something that is a part of you anymore. Your guardian angel is here to support you in this faith that you are being challenged in right now, right? We saw your temperance and the fountain card together, temperance in reverse. So we know that you are experiencing some challenges in regards to your faith. And actually, I should mention that the Hierophant also, I did talk about wanting to have a deeper connection with spirit, but I should mention that the Hierophant itself, just very generally, is also about faith. So to have the Hierophant come out 3 times, twice in its reverse, definitely you could use a boost in your faith. Having faith in the sacred union, having faith in your ability to manifest your desires, having faith in your destiny, in your fortune, that you do have good fortune. That card doesn't have to come out of the deck, right? That's something I say every day. There's many times where we get a card and I'll say, look, you didn't have to get this card, right? There's 70 other cards. I shuffle them. They fall out. They jump out. I don't know. I've never had trouble shuffling cards until I became a tarot reader. Now I can't shuffle the card. None of the cards stay in the deck. They just fly out. And it flew out for a reason. The reason is because you have good fortune, not because you don't. I'm not the kind of reader that sees the Wheel of Fortune as like, oh, you will have bad luck for 1,000 years. I mean, I can't fucking tell you that. The energy is going to change every day. But if anybody ever tells you something is going to happen forever, fuck that person. I had a doctor once tell me I wasn't going to be able to walk the same ever again when I was 25 from a back injury that, you know what, healed. And now I walk even better. I can even walk in my new heels, kind of. So fuck that doctor, and fuck anybody who ever tells you anything is going to last forever. Don't ever believe anything like that. That's a completely limiting belief. Your fortune changes every single day. Every single day. It changes when you change. It changes with each shift in your perspective. It changes with every single decision you make to reach for a better feeling thought. As soon as you do that, your fortune starts to change immediately. So have faith, because you know what else just came out? The motherfucking Wheel of Fortune card in reverse, because this is good luck and fucking. I literally don't even need to say anything. I wasn't even looking at that card in my hand. What I just said, did I stutter? As I love Grace Strega says, did I stutter? Your fortune is here. You have good fortune. Trust your luck. Have faith in your luck. Look around you right now. Look around you. First of all, you must be using some kind of pretty nice device to be watching this. Maybe you even pay for YouTube so you don't have the freaking advertisements. You might be in a comfortable job where you have a full hour and however many more minutes it's going to take for me to get all this message out for you, where you can just sit and enjoy this for this hour that you've been sitting here. You are experiencing so much good luck and so much abundance and so much fortune that you don't even look at it anymore and think of it that way. You have very good luck. You are safe and you are protected. And that wheel is shifting, and you gotta shift with it, baby cakes. Because when you resist it, that's when you're not feeling so good. You're getting this card again. Be bold and make the first move. And it's accompanied by take the time to breathe out. So I want you to do both of these things. I want you to take a deep breath, and I want you to expel all of the air that is in there, because that's all of the waste that you don't need anymore. All of the negativity, all of the things all of the doubt, anything that's blocking your faith in your good luck. Take a deep breath and then release all of that. And after you've done that, I want you to go do whatever it is that you haven't done yet, that you know if you do will result in your change of fortune. Because you control the wheel by co-creating with spirit. You can fight spirit, and spirit's like, well, here's another tower moment for you, bitch, because the fucking wheel's turning. Or you can co-create and just ride the wheel, right? But be bold and make some kind of a move today. And then you're getting the crumbling, which is the Tower card. It is upright because it has happened. And now our job is to let it go. Release whatever it is that isn't serving us. As this tower happens, as these things crumble, let it go. It's also a reminder that if you keep resisting that Wheel of Fortune, which you are doing right now, you will experience a tower moment, like I just said, because either you go along with that wheel and shift and change and release, or the divine's going to do it for you. And it's not going to be so comfortable, which is fine. We like discomfort. Discomfort makes things move right along real quick, right? And you keep asking for things to move along. Well, what do you think you're going to get? If you're like, please make this go faster, divine's like, she wants it to go faster. What do we got? We got hurricanes, pandemics. We already did the pandemic. We do a second wave. Oh, we did the second wave. What can we do now? Haven't done an earthquake in a while. Maybe do that. How about you just co-create with spirit instead of asking for things to go faster? You like, on the one hand, you're like, please make this easier. And on the other hand, you're like, but make it go way faster. You try to make that work. All right. You're also getting chameleon spirit, act as if, and we're getting the protection message today. Being sensitive and having empathy for others can become a heavy burden if you don't practice self-care. Could it be you're feeling stressed because you've tuned into challenging emotions that aren't even yours? Chameleon spirit does not want you to adapt to these conditions by withdrawing or distracting yourself, hoping the feelings will just go away, or attempting to rescue another who may be having a pity party. You can be swallowed up trying to manage it all. It is time to figure out where you end and the rest of the world begins. Not all conditions are yours to match. That is the message. Because if someone comes to you and their energy isn't where your energy is, and I don't want to do higher or lower because I feel like that is hierarchical and it doesn't need to be. So let's just say just a different radio station. You're on 93.1 and they're on 89.1. Okay. So 89.1 comes over to you and is like speaking and telling you things. And you're over here on 93. Did I say 93.1? I don't even fucking know what I said. So you can't hear them. So you have to tune into their station. Do you like every radio station? I don't. I hate radio anyway because I hate commercials. So, but are you listening to every station on the radio, or are there certain stations you prefer? Not all stations are yours to tune into. So there are some individuals in your life that are broadcasting on a different frequency than you. And that frequency doesn't serve you because maybe that was your old frequency. Maybe you used to listen to that kind of music all the time and you've just moved on. It's kind of got bad memories for you. It's not really your thing anymore. And now you're more sophisticated in your own mind and you like this kind of music better and you feel like this represents you more. And that's not really where you're at. Okay, no big. Don't tune in then. Don't go there. Don't go there. So if it's a friend that is constantly going to this one place, then it's your job to not go there with them. And you can do that very gently or you can do that very firmly. It doesn't really matter. It's your show. You can say to the person, hey, I know you want to go there and I get it. I understand. And I'm sure there's people in your life that are going to go there with you to that topic. But I can't go there with you. I don't want to. It's not good for me. And I think we could probably go over here and have a better time. What do you think? And if that person cannot be over there with you, that's okay. Boogie on out of there. You need to distinguish your own color from the rest of the world right now and take time out to soothe your sensitive soul. Choose some activities that will restore your sense of being grounded and avoid people who revel in drama. Take a break from social media too. Self-care and a timeout is the answer to this temporary dilemma. So if you're feeling in a temporary dilemma, if you're feeling sensitive, if you're feeling like there are people in your life that are demanding your attention, if you feel like divine masculine situation makes you feel like you have to fix him or match him or try to figure him out. Remember, every time you try to figure out divine masculine, you're tuning into his station. Do you want to be tuned into his station if his station is playing the fucking oldies and you're like over it? Maybe you do want to be nostalgic and you're right, like, let's go listen to the oldies. Or maybe you want a new station where he's not playing those old songs. And you're like, babe, can we have a new station? Can we listen to something new? Like, can we tune into a different thing? Because I don't want to go back to where you were focused on the separation and you feel so bad about what you did and you're so sorry and you don't want to do it again and Can we just tune into a new station? Let's find out. Divine masculine. Can we tune into a new station? Yes, but it's going to take a little time. Let's see. I hope you got some time. The good news is you're starting out the journey in the light attributes of the student, which is humility and a devotion to knowledge and an openness to lifelong learning. So good. I'm glad that you got your student archetype down and you've got your thinking cap on so we can learn what it is that we need to learn, because your Hierophant energy is definitely bringing you some of these lessons. You're also in the light attributes right now, the artist. So you are expressing a dimension of life that is just beyond the five senses and inspiring others to see life symbolically. So you are able to take this information that you're gaining as a student and then express this dimension to those who have never even been able to kind of tune into it before, and inspire others to see things symbolically, to see things in a new way. But here's your shadow. You're in the shadow attributes of the liberator, which is to impose your own tyranny over those you claim to liberate and ignoring legitimate constraints. So this is very clear. You've gotten this before, you're getting it again. You are imposing your own tyranny over the divine feminine that you are claiming to liberate. You are claiming to liberate the union. That's what you want to do. You want to have victory. But does this look like liberation to you? Because to me, this looks like secrets. It looks like control. It looks like strategy. It looks like manipulation. It looks like being conniving. It looks like tyranny over this divine feminine energy who, to be honest with you, doesn't look super happy about the way that it feels. This is who you're claiming to liberate, and yet your fears and your anxieties are keeping her prisoner, kind of like the Eight of Swords type of an energy. What's on my card? You're getting this St. Francis of Assisi card, and it is the protector who's with you right now. There is an emphasis here. Apparently, I just threw it on the floor. You have a big fear of loyalty, divine masculine. You have a fear of divine feminine's loyalty because I think of wounds that you've sustained. And of course, if you have had your own sort of behaviors, shadow behaviors in regards to cheating, you might project those onto someone else. So you have fears about loyalty, but you're getting a strong message from the divine that you have an extremely loyal companion. That the divine feminine is incredibly loyal, maybe to the point, maybe to her detriment at times, because her loyalty to you has been her in her own, she's been sacrificed for that. So there's a message here about that. And there's also a message that if you have companion animals, this might be a good time to take solace in them, or because they help us to immediately connect with unconditional love and they immediately bring us back to source. You're also getting peaceful. This, and I say when this card comes out, it is extremely important that you acknowledge the presence of the Holy Spirit. When the Holy Spirit is here, it is a very profound experience. This is the tongue of fire that appears above the heads of the apostles on the Pentecost. This is the power to speak in languages that are spiritual, that are not even material. Like, it's the fire of revelation and truth, and it is how the divine interacts with the physical world without embodying a physical vessel. So it's the spirit, it's the thing. I remember arguing with someone once about evolution, somebody who was trying to say that like a creationist that was saying that evolution didn't exist or couldn't exist because of the Bible didn't say it or whatever. And I was like, well, okay, but like, why can't those two things exist? Why can't evolution be the process through which the Holy Spirit inspired the presence of mankind on the earth? Like, I never understood why people have mutually exclusive views of something. It's like, why can't both things be true? And in my mind, the person who believes in evolution can believe in evolution down to the last element of it. But there is still in that theory one hidden aspect, which is that there is a spontaneous change that we have no explanation for, that we can't define, that we don't understand, that there is no clear pattern for, but for some reason unknown to us, ineffably, there is a change within the genetic structure of the being that is growing that causes it to evolve. So even if evolution is scientifically accurately what happens, the Holy Spirit is still part of the process, because you just told me, scientists, that there's something mysterious that happens that is inexplicable. And that is literally the presence of source energy. So to me, the Holy Spirit is the spark of life. So to get this guardian is to have a profound sense of peace, because if you are so important that you are being graced with the presence of the Holy Spirit, you have to accept your worthiness in the eyes of grace. And the Holy Spirit comes to bring peace where there was struggle. And the Holy Spirit does something else. It moves us. I was moved by the power of the Holy Spirit. That's said at every single Mass. Moved by the power of the Holy Spirit is profoundly stated every day when I attend my virtual Mass, if I do. Move. The Holy Spirit is here to move you towards this companion that you long to be with, towards this family. And here come the messages. Family, transformation, new beginnings, trust, and peace. I don't even need to read these cards to you. I don't even need to take each one of these cards and read them to you, because you can see what it says. Family, transformation, new beginnings, which you're being too cautious about, way too cautious about. Your new beginning is here. It's present. You have to trust in this new beginning. And then if you weren't sure that the Holy Spirit was here with you to bring peace, well, here's your reassurance, sir. Look at the bigger picture. Don't get so caught up in all these little details that you miss the big picture, which is your spiritual fulfillment. Understand right now that everything you are doing is divinely guided. Every step you take. If the Holy Spirit is present for you right now, then you are literally inspired to move by the Holy Spirit. Every action you have is divinely guided. So take that trust card and trust in this koi fish spirit energy, that there is always enough. That this is a big fish in a little pond kind of a card. I just love Colette Baron Reid's messages. Within each of us, there is this potential for prosperity. That prosperity is our natural state. And your outer conditions are going to reflect your inner prosperity. So you must become the self who is comfortable with wealth in all its forms. Even if at the moment it feels as if riches are not yours, they soon will be. Start to envision the plenty that Spirit wants you to experience, knowing that the moment you begin to commit to conscious and deliberate co-creating, Spirit will joyfully start bringing you what you need. You have so much to offer and so much of value to express to the world. In your little pond, there is much you can create and much you can attract. Do not underestimate what you have and who you are, for Koi Fish Spirit wants you to know that you are exquisite, loved, and deeply cherished. Trust that outer conditions are changing to reflect that truth. All right, final cards for the union. You're in the light attributes, the both of you, of the femme fatale energy, which is highlighting the erotic energy of the feminine and opening your heart when dependency is rejected. So your hearts are open. You've embraced that divine feminine energy. I think divine masculine, you're getting comfortable with that erotic energy from the female in that you are in tune with your own and wanting that experience with divine feminine. And there's a comfort there. There's like a, if there was a fear of physical intimacy or if there were wounds regarding physical intimacy, those things are healing. And you're seeing divine feminine in the light traits of this femme fatale energy. And your heart is open to her. Even though in the past you've experienced rejection, both of you feel that you can have open hearts. Your guardian angel is here. There's an emphasis to pray. And I always note when I see this card that there are two individuals here. And that always makes me think of Christ saying, when two or more are gathered in my name, I am with them. And the power here that you are both praying for this outcome, that you're both opening your heart and praying together. If there's a way that you can be together at some point during the day, today, try to do that. If even if it's just, like, that you watch the same thing at the same time, or just try to be focused on each other at the same time. Pick a time of day, like people 11:11 is associated with that twin flame time, or maybe anytime you see double numbers or something today, or anytime you see signs or messages, think about that person and be in union with that person and watch those synchronicities unfold. There's a strong message of forgiveness here, forgiveness of each other, forgiveness of the self. There's mostly forgiveness of the self that's required because there is so much understanding and compassion here between the two of you that the other isn't necessarily responsible entirely for everything that happened because of the matching of the wounds. This is complicated when we talk to people outside of ourselves about these types of relationships. There's a tendency for us to mistake abusive, toxic relationships for soulmate twin flame relationships. That happens a lot because there's parallels in them, but there are major differences. And while you're inside of the relationship, it is very difficult to distinguish that. The people on the outside can see that. But in a relationship with a twin flame, there's going to be a lot of triggering. There's not going to be, this is not going to be a physically abusive person. This is not going to be somebody who engages in abusive behaviors that are like domestic violence or any type of, this is not going to be that kind of stuff that we're needing to forgive. There's not violating here going on. This is mostly having to ask forgiveness in regards to issues with timing, not feeling worthy enough, not showing up when you should, having fears about the other person being in your life, having fears about it's the things that we're unpacking here that are more about ourself, our relationship with ourselves, than they are about violating or hurting someone else. So it's just a very important thing to keep in mind. If somebody hits you, that's not your twin flame. Your twin flame is not going to engage in that behavior ever. The twin flames are light workers. These are people that do not tend towards violence. That's not my understanding of the collective. So when we give forgiveness to somebody, the reason I'm bringing this up is because we forgive our divine masculine energy, or we forgive our divine feminine energy for these transgressions. Those around us can see this patience that we have for someone like this as toxic because of their fears about us being in a potential relationship like the ones I mentioned before, which are about violation and abuse and are truly toxic. There's always toxicity in the relationship until the wounds are healed. But this is a different kind of forgiveness. This is a forgiveness that is about understanding that while the person wounded you and they must take responsibility for that wound and have accountability for it, you can forgive them because you understand that the action that they partook in was a match to the place where you were inside of self, and they showed you where you needed to shift. Now, even a person who is physically abusive is doing this, but all I am saying is that a physically abusive person is not going to be a light worker. That just doesn't seem to fit the general description of a light worker. So keep that in mind. But forgiveness is about understanding that the person is just showing you your wounds. And while they must still take accountability in order to deserve a seat at your table, they certainly do not deserve for you to hate them or send them negative energy or feel, because that is just poison that you're taking yourself, expecting them to die. The end of a tough cycle approaches. So this difficult separation from this manifestation that you want to have, this physical union with this manifestation, however you are looking at these readings, it's been difficult, and that is being acknowledged, and it really is coming to an end. Keep in mind that at this point, you are not alone, that you have ancient ancestors standing beside you, that they are trying to help you accomplish this because it is in their best interest, because it is their desire that you progress in your development and expand. We're getting eagle spirit. Spirit has your back, and we're getting the protection message, which is, if you're walking awkwardly and feeling embarrassed, eagle spirit is here to tell you that is only because right now you are meant to fly. Soar over the troubles that have you feeling scared and alone. See the big picture, yet retain your eagle eye for the details that help you claim your wisdom and courage. Or perhaps you're making yourself small for the sake of getting others to accept you. Now is not the time to be vulnerable and dependent, for you have the wings to fly on your own, and you need to do that at this time. There is no need to huddle in a shelter or even to seek out a flock to support you, for Eagle Spirit says you have tremendous wisdom and courage within. Let it arise so that you might soar proudly with the angels serving as the wind beneath your wings. From these heights, you can make the best and most powerful choices for the good of all. So, you have the wings to fly together. You have the momentum. You have all of the tools that you need, and you just have to use them, and you have to come into balance, and you have to trust in the divine and trust in each other as well. All right, let's close out the reading with an Island Time Wellness card or two. What should we work on for today, just today, that will help us to shift this energy so that we can come into physical union? So that is what we are desiring. Thank you so much for being here today. Please like, subscribe, share, click notifications so you know when I'm going live, or follow me on Instagram where I post the time-lapse shuffle with the songs from today. It is Wednesday today, yes. So nothing special coming up so far. Tomorrow is going to be a normal daily reading in the morning. And we will have our collaboration with Gray Strega on Sunday. Okay, we're getting 2 cards, I guess. Fine. Okay. Divine Feminine. You are getting receiving what you need, progression, arriving, moving on, and closure issues, which is the boat card. And you're getting the Sword and the Rose, which is clarity, truth, revelation, solidarity, force, honor, protection, and power. So, you need to gain clarity today about what you truly need. You need to protect. Once you have the clarity about what it is that you truly need, you need to give that to yourself. You need to protect that, as in you have to not settle for anything less than what it is that you need. And you have to really feel the fullness of your own power today. Sword and the Rose to me is like using your head and your heart. So use your head and your heart to gain clarity about what you need and make a decision, some kind of a decision today about progressing, about going forward, whether that is moving on and achieving some closure, working on that tower energy, the crumbling and the release. But you need to be very much in union. You are in union in the spread. So use that union of head and heart where you're really in tune with that intuition and ask yourself, what do I need to move on from this energy so that I can shift this pentacle and actually see that abundance in my material world. Divine masculine, you're getting photograph and Cupid's arrow, which is looking at your photos, missing you, nostalgia, and make new memories, along with Cupid's arrow, have faith, love is coming, surprise invitation, or meeting and hesitation. So now you're getting Cupid's arrow, which divine feminine was getting a lot. And you're getting make new memories. So you keep looking at these past memories and thinking and missing the divine feminine, and you're being told right now, listen, you need to have faith that love is coming and that there's going to be something surprising. And we did see in your spread today that the Seven of Swords was here along with that moon, and so there's some surprising detail or something that is coming that is going to help you to make new memories. Just keep this faith today that there's going to be something that you just don't know, that's not in your awareness, that's going to pop up today. It's also telling me very strongly that the reason that there is hesitation here is because of your fixation on the past. And as much as you don't want to admit this to yourself, you're very used to missing divine feminine. I miss you is more comfortable to say than I love you. So you need to stop hesitating, sending your own arrow, because divine feminine, look what she's feeling, what she's expecting. These arrows, these messages, these new memories, this reunion, the Six of Cups, new memories. So that is your job today, divine masculine. The bottom of the deck. Wow. The bottom of the deck is priceless because it's the runner and wedding rings. It's runner in a codependent relationship, fear of intimacy and listening to the ego, and then wedding rings, which is union, wedding, married, soul connection, eternal love, and everlasting promise. So underlying what you need to do today is you need to release this fear of intimacy. Stop listening to your ego. If you can stop listening to this ego and stop being afraid of this intimacy that you desire, what is just beneath that is this everlasting, eternal love. So you can either run from it today by giving into those fears of the ego, or you can run to it, which is how the cards actually present when we pull them out of the deck. I hope that was helpful for you all today. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. I am going to be working on production today with my bassist, Andrew, which is always so much fun. So I'm looking forward to that. Later tonight, I will be participating in the Dream Team with Chelsea Rose. If you don't know about Chelsea, she's an incredible musician. She's part of the band The Summer Twins and has since gone solo. Her sister, Justine, is also a solo artist, and she has the band called Easy Love. And Chelsea is a photographer. She's a director of video. She's done so many things, and she's just incredibly inspiring. And for her, she has a Patreon where you can subscribe and have a monthly check-in about your goals and dreams. And I'm going to be participating in the second one that I've ever done with her tonight at 6 p.m. So if you're interested in getting help with like taking these big dreams, taking this offer and actually like getting organized and scheduling, which I'm telling you is very helpful, go check out Chelsea Rose. Look at the link in her bio on Instagram and take a look at her Patreon and look at her. It's $20 for the month, and it's been very helpful for me. So I highly recommend that. If you want to support me on Patreon, you can click on the description box below. I do have different levels of Patreon subscribers there. For $3, you can get a monthly check-in. For $9, there's 2 additional readings for a total of 3 additional readings, plus access to music and early access to content, all kinds of things like that. So if you're interested in supporting me in that way, please check out my Patreon as well. And there's also a link to send me cards if you want to see new imagery and hear new messages. Feel free to send me some of those decks I'm calling in from my Amazon wish list. Anything else I can think of to say? I think that's everything. I do appreciate you all who do support me. If you need a personal reading, please hit me up at tunedintarot@gmail.com. It is pay what you can type of a reading. I have a suggested donation, and then you can just pay whatever you can, because there should be no barrier to healing. Thank you so much. Have a lovely day, and I shall see you tomorrow morning here on Tuned in Tarot. Take care, everybody.